What's up, movie trivia Schmoedown fans? It's me again. I'm back. I've been out of the Schmoedown reaction business for a bit, for a couple of weeks, but it is now time for me to make up a lot of lost time, especially leading up to Collision, which is this weekend as of the time of this recording. So I'm going to react to Paige Frabetti versus Rachel Silvestrini. Another match I missed from last week. As you can see, I'm supporting the Den today because they're my second favorite faction. And it's nothing against Paige Frabetti. I'm actually good friends with people who are good friends with her. I was on a show with her at one point, and I kind of let slip that I was maybe rooting against her, mostly because she was once again playing someone from the Den, Peggy Gubbins. And she just gave me this look like she was going to jump out of the computer monitor and strangle me. So, yeah, I haven't really had the best of luck with people from the usual suspects this season. But I don't care because I'm rooting for the team that I like. So there. I said it. Anyways, she's playing Rachel Silvestrini, the Switchblade. Hasn't really had the best of luck as of late. She's a great player. Another one of those great players where I don't think her record reflects just how good she is. But she's going up against a monster of a competitor in Paige Frabetti, who almost won last time. She just got stumped on one or two questions she didn't know. And PG won that one. So, yeah, this is the Suspects versus the Den once again. So, here we go. Frabetti versus Silvestrini. Almost forgot to mention, I brought some pizza because why not? I really enjoy the combination of Schmoedown and pizza. It works better when it's the Quirky Mercs, but since the Quirky Mercs aren't playing in this match, the Den, my second favorite faction, is a worthy follow-up to that. So yeah, I will be pizzaing and also reacting and also competing, but, don't expect to make correct answers from me. I'm just here to enjoy my pizza and enjoy these wonderful ladies compete. So here we go.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Alongside the great Andrew Guy, I am the tolerable Mark Baby Carrots Ellis. And Andrew, you talk about young stars in the league looking to get their very first W in the singles division here in the Schmoedown. We have two of the finest in the Switchblade, Rachel Silvestrini and the Boston Badass, Paige Frabetti. It's a rookie versus a vet in the opposite order that I just announced them. How do you see this one going, pal?
Right, a rookie versus a vet, but both of them going to get their first win here in singles. And that's really the thing to hold on to in this match. Who is going to get that first notch on their belt? Because it's like when you're answering questions in the MTS. Once you get that first question down, it gets a lot easier from there. Silvestrini, she's done it in teams. And as you said, she is a veteran of the game. However, in singles, she just hasn't been able to do it.
Well, we know that she's lights out in that Disney category, as exhibitions past have proved, but she's still looking to make her mark in the league. She's got the right manager, in my opinion, shepherding her, and that would be Kate Mulligan, she of the Den. It just feels like they work so well together with their study sessions, with the rest of the Den supporting her, and you're just hoping to get over the hump here today. But, I mean, you talk about someone who almost had their first W earlier this season in the Schmoedown. That would be the Boston Badass of the usual suspects, Paige Frabetti, making quite a statement, even in a losing effort in her inaugural turn.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Excuse me, as I seem to be choking out of excitement.
I'm with
all right, I'm ready. With Sam Levine, it's a great place for a rookie to be, right? Sam is one of the masters of the game. We've seen his knowledge pay off as a player and as a spectator, and now as a manager handedly. And I think that's really what Paige needs to lean on here. She knows what she knows. Let the game be in the hands of her manager. Silvestrini, on the other side, she has to put the past behind her. She's had wins, she's had losses.
Just like
but
Simba
she's
did.
Great competitors in her losses in singles. That's the other thing you have to look at, is who she's played and who she's lost to in the past. They're not nobodies. There's a lot of great names on that list. So I think Paige is in a great spot managerial-wise, and same thing with Rachel. Kate is the best at chilling you out and putting a smile on your face.
Did you make the egotistical announcer faux pas, Andrew? Did you pull a Harloff, and did you try to cram a full slice of pizza in right before we went to air?
I just know I can eat that much. I've done it before. I've gotten second place in numerous food eating competitions, and I wanted to prove it to the fans here at the MTS. Thank you for putting me on the spot.
The white hot spotlight of the Schmoedown is for the competitors to answer movie trivia questions, not for the announcers to see how much they can eat, shove down their gullet moments before. You know what? We'll let Andrew recover as we watch this spectacular film.
I'm enjoying my pizza.
Oh man, I've been waiting for this day for a long, long time.
You are exceeding my wildest expectations.
So what's happening with me today, man? The star is born.
Whoa. That's something I could never do.
The Boston Badass is back, baby. Let's get it, Schmoedown.
Is she like on an official team, or was that just for fun? Impressive either way.
What a match it was. Paige looked phenomenal, as Sam said. Just a couple questions at the end there. She just didn't know.
Paige absolutely proved not only does she belong here, but that she is someone to be feared.
Listen up, Schmoedown. I played for Team Usual Suspects. I'm hearing some of you guys out there saying I'm an underdog because I lost my first match against Peggy. But guess what, guys? That didn't discourage me.
No.
That motivated me.
The
But I just
opposite.
need to say, Paige,
She was the overdog in that match.
Super rock star.
She just happened to
She's
lose.
gone above and beyond recently. Yep. She's been a real trooper.
When other competitors hear, oh, they have to play Paige, I want them to go, oh no, she was really good.
Oh, Schmoedown, I've missed you.
You got
Hey!
Rachel Silvestrini, who I will kick and scream, but I caved into the Switchblade, and she's been a Switchblade. She went up against both Paul Preston and Roca and gave them both fights. It was by no means anything except fights on both of those.
It's been too long. And now I get to come back and play Paige Frabetti, the Boston Badass.
I don't know if you guys know much about the 1980 Winter Olympics, but it's Team Usual Suspects. We're pretty much Team USA. My manager, Sam Levine, is Hog Brooks. And Miss Rachel, Switchblade Silvestrini, she's a Russian hockey team just standing in my way.
I don't think she really knows her hockey history as well as she thinks she does, because I'm not the Russians from Miracle. Because I'm the 1976 Philadelphia Flyers. You know, the team that made Russia quit after 2 periods of play because it got a little rough.
I'm not scared of anyone.
Yeah, more
so
sports
whatever they
stuff.
want to give me,
Yeah.
I will take with open arms.
Maybe 0-1, but I'm not going 0-2. Rachel, guess this rookie's gonna have to make you 0-4, so I'm not going down this season.
It's going to be really interesting to see what happens when you bring hockey skates to a Switchblade fight.
Nice, I love it. Nice.
Schmoedown. I smell a victory on my end today. Let's get it.
The baby has been burped. That, of course, being Andrew Guy. And look, maybe Kate Mulligan's motherly instincts could have helped you out before we ran to the promo, because she just looks like she is so good at throwing barbs to her opponent, and you know she loves having fun with Sam Levine of the Usual Suspects, but she really does have that nurturing sensibility when it comes to her competitor, the Switchblade. Odd name for a kid, but Kate seems to treat her as one of her own. Is that going to be enough to get her to victory today? But like you pointed out, Sam Levine knows how to coach. He knew how to play the game as well as anybody I've ever seen, and now he's starting to transfer that ability onto his young competitors.
You know, when I watched the most 2 recent matches between these 2 competitors, I think the most important thing, other than obviously their knowledge and they have the faith in their managers, is when you miss, know that that's okay. It's very hard to have a perfect
okay
game. They have been happening a lot, but when you miss, you gotta stay strong. And I guarantee you these 2 ladies are very much ready to go. Ellis, are you?
I am pumped, and to rest both of our throats for a hot second, here is Christian Harloff.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time
for the movie trivia Schmoedown.
Introducing first.
Representing the usual suspects with the record of 0 wins and 1 defeat. The Boston Badass.
Paige Frabetti has emerged. Paige, you know, with a moniker like the Boston Badass, that's quite a reputation to live up to. So how do you feel like you're going to do that today? You would certainly go a far way in proving that by beating someone called the Switchblade.
I mean, listen, in Boston, I have that reputation itself, so I'm ready to play anyone. You guys want to give me another member for the den? I guess I'm going hunting today. It's hunting season. I'm ready to take them down, so let's get it started, guys.
Badass, it's really great to see you so confident coming into this match. Now, I have to bring up maybe a moment from the past that you don't want to talk about, but you were really in control of that first match against Gubbins. Yeah. What do you want to change in rounds 2 and 3 today that maybe went a little off the rails in your debut?
Honestly, not too much. Take my time. For me, it's me against the questions. It's not me against my opponent, so this is my second time coming in now, so the nerves have gone down a little bit. I'm just ready to play. I mean, you guys think I'm good enough to play vet, so I'm just going to have to make her 0-4. So let's just get this started, guys.
Oh, Ellis.
Not lacking for confidence is the Boston Badass. And who's her opponent?
Her opponent,
representing the Den, with a record of 0 wins and 3 defeats, the Switchblade!
Rachel Silvestrini! There's a Switchblade!
Locked and loaded and ready to go. She's packing, Ellis.
Yeah, that looks like it hurts. Rachel, are you okay? I hope that's a prop.
Oh no, I'm good. It's not a prop. This is 100% real. Just like my win is going to be, it's going to be very real today because these are big words coming from a very little girl. She's only had to face one person, and while I love my faction mate, she is a rookie. I had to face 3 giants in this league, and that they all gave me losses, but I have learned from every single one of them. So it's going to be a really good match today.
Yeah, and
she
just
played
to
a
give a
former
little bit
champion
of
and
context
almost
for what
won.
you might be talking about, Silvestrini,
Two-time
here is Paul
champion,
Preston,
maybe
John
3 times, I
Roca,
can't
and
remember.
Liz Shannon Miller are the 3 that you are talking about, and they are titans of the game. What have you learned from those losses, and how do you make that 0 in front of the 3 not get to your head coming into this match?
I deal with what's in front of me, not behind. That's all you can do. Take one question at a time, one match at a time. Like Paige said, it's not.
You gotta
who I'm
put your
playing
behind
against,
in your
it's me.
past.
I'm playing against myself and the questions, and that's all that matters right now.
And final question for the Switchblade. How's your mom?
She's good. She sends her love.
Okay, her brownies are amazing. As we go into round number 1, the rules of round number 1 are as follows. 8 questions will emerge from 8 different corners of movie, trivia, Schmoedown goodness. Each question is worth a point. There's no penalty for missing a question, and there is no stealing, at least not in round number 1. I feel like I should remind somebody named the Badass and somebody named the Switchblade about the stealing rule. Only in round number 2 can you steal. In round number 1, you just got to get that correct answer. You have 15 seconds to do so once we ask the question. To write down, that is, because we're going to ask you to show what you wrote to your camera at the same time you verbalize your attempted answer into the microphone. I'll remind each competitor of your 3 usages of the JTE rule. Hey, heroes for Boston teams. If you're not sure you heard a question right, you want to buy yourself another 15 seconds to get that correct answer, use a JTE rule. That's your repeat the question. You also each have 1 challenge. You may utilize at any point throughout the 3-round match. We'll bring in managers. You'll deliberate to your heart's content. We will hear our arguments, and then it will ultimately be your manager that confirms and ratifies if said challenge is taking place. Boston Badass, Paige Frabetti, do you understand the rules as I have read them here today, and are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Good luck.
And
Rachel.
Rachel Silvestrini, the Switchblade. You ready to go?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown!
3 rounds in the singles division, ladies. 8 questions in round number 1, worth a point apiece. Remember, write down on those boards, make sure we can see your hands, and stop when that timer hits 0. Your first question coming in the category of Oscars. Actress Frances McDormand and director Chloe Zhao won Oscars for what 2020 film?
Recency bias here.
Yeah, I mean, you always wonder what these questions will look like in like 8 years from now.
We'll remember 2020? 4. I think we will.
Not.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go till Silvestrini first.
Nomadland.
That is correct for a point, and
Well, I was
for
incorrect
Frabetti.
anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
No man land, baby.
Got it correct, and we move on to question 2, and that's in the world of horror movies. And your question: what 2010's Stephen King adaptation features performances from Rebecca Ferguson, Bruce Greenwood, and Kylie Curran?
You know, we were talking about horror movies.
Not even gonna try to
recently,
answer
Ellis,
that
and
one.
I turned this on the other day.
I'm sorry, can I get a JTE, please?
You certainly may. Your JTE rule is: what 2010's Stephen King adaptation features performances from Rebecca Ferguson, Bruce Greenwood, and Kylie Curran?
Because she
Like
needed
see
to hear the decade.
Boston Badass using her
Because she
JTs
immediately wrote
effectively.
as soon
And
as
Right,
said
what I was saying is I turned this
2010's
on the other
Stephen
day,
King.
got 20 minutes in, I was like, you know what, I probably shouldn't watch this by myself.
5, 4,
I feel like
3.
that's
I'm
true
not your
about
thunder
most
buddy.
Stephen King movies.
Please.
1. Pens down. Let's go to Paige Frabetti.
It's Dr. Sleep, guys. My apologies.
Dr.
I thought you
Sleep.
said 2010. Got a little confused for a hot second, so I'm glad
See,
I used
I
that
said so.
JTE.
That's why the rules are there for a point. Does Rachel have it?
Absolutely, Dr. Sleep.
Nailed it. It is 2-2.
All right, question number 3, coming from one of my favorite categories, action adventure.
Of course.
Action adventure for your third question. Who plays Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games franchise?
I'll say the action. You really couldn't have named your show anything else from another movie category to sound cool. Maybe horror, but we know your experience. 5, 4,
Drama Movie Anatomy.
3,
Tuesdays at
2.
noon.
1. Pens down. Let's go back to the Switchblade.
Why did I
Jennifer
forget her name?
Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Is correct, and
Yeah,
for
I
the
only
time
had
for Brady.
Lawrence.
The beautiful Jennifer Lawrence.
And for some reason,
Okay,
I
they
don't know, Jennifer
clearly
Lawrence.
studied in a variety of categories. Let's throw some drama.
I just blanked
at
on the
them.
name
For a
Jennifer.
point, your question: which actor starred in the dramatic films Changing Lanes, Hollywoodland, and Live by Night?
Actor?
Which one of those titles best describes your life, Ellis?
I thought you
I
said
feel like they all
actress.
kind of work. I always signal when changing lanes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 90% of the time. 1. Pens down. Boston Badass.
Is it the Boston
Ben
boy himself, Ben
Affleck.
Affleck?
Yeah, it's kind of a homer question there. You nailed it. And Rachel Silvestrini.
He was the bomb in Phantoms, yo. Ben Affleck.
That is correct. I wish I could give you both
got
an
a point.
additional point.
And your fifth question, coming from another slash here, is fantasy / sci-fi for your fifth question, ladies. Joel Courtney, Elle Fanning, and Kyle Chandler star in this 2011 sci-fi adventure film from director J.J. Abrams.
All right. I'm going to give you a question. You got to pick one within 2 seconds. You ready?
Okay.
Ben Affleck or Matt Damon?
Damon.
Okay. 5, 4, 3. Happy with that? 2.
I don't know. I felt buyer's
Repeat the
remorse
question.
instantly.
Okay. Rachel got it in just in the nick of time. Her first JTE rule.
In the category of fantasy sci-fi, Switchblade, this is your fifth question.
Yeah,
Joel
fantasy
Courtney,
sci-fi.
Elle Fanning, and Kyle Chandler.
I had a
star
different
in this
answer in mind,
2011
but
sci-fi
I need to
adventure
listen to
film
the category
from
again.
director J.J. Abrams.
And wisely, these are two, even though combined 0 and 4, they know the game well because you saw Frabetti looking at her answer just in case she wanted to change it.
I like that they're taking their time. They're letting the
3,
game is coming to them.
2, 1. Pens down. And we are going to go to Switchblade. Did you have it?
I didn't.
And Frabetti for her first lead of the game.
Personally, one of my favorite J.J. Abrams films. Super 8.
Oh,
That is correct.
I said Cloverfield.
Oh yeah, it takes her 1 point lead here halfway through round number 1.
Frabetti still perfect. Switchblade trails by 1 as we go to the world of comedies. For a point, your question. Which former Saturday Night Live actor plays the villain Jacobim Mugatu in Zoolander? Don't quote it. Don't quote it.
Let's say Jacobim just in case.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I feel like the last name helps more than the first name in this particular instance.
Yeah.
5, 4,
Mugatu.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Double B.
Will Ferrell.
Correct for a point. And Switchblade.
Will Ferrell.
Got it. Okay, so it is 6-5. Paige Frabetti still perfect.
I'm glad that you know me well enough to stop me from quoting the movie. I do appreciate that, Ellis.
You're so hot right now.
All right. Your penultimate question in round number 1 comes from the category of martial arts movies. Martial arts movies. Who plays the lead role of taxi driver Jimmy Tong in the 2002 film The Tuxedo?
All right, athletic history competition between me and Andrew Guy. I took 3 total weeks of karate lessons. Can you beat that?
I was a black belt in Taekwondo.
3.
So slightly then.
No.
1.
Pretty sure
I would
I
like
took
to
enough
challenge.
karate
Pens
lessons
down. Let's go
to be more than 3 weeks
to
combined.
Paige first. Did you have this one?
I mean, I almost wore my tuxedo today, but
Jackie
Chan was good in
Chan.
it.
I actually
Jackie
saw that
Chan is
movie.
correct. And Rachel
It's Jackie Chan.
got it both. And so it is 7-6.
Right on, right
it is
on,
just
right
that
on,
close.
right on,
Unlike
right on,
Andrew
right
Guy
on,
and I's
right
martial
on,
arts
right on.
discrepancy, a 1-point game.
That was
Your
my introduction
final
to that
question.
song, by
And
the
for
way.
Paige Frabetti, this is for a perfect round, but both competitors eligible to get a point here in the category of directors. And the question: who directed the films Small Soldiers, Looney Tunes Back in Action, and The Burbs?
What?
I don't want to jinx our competitors or anything here, Ellis.
Well, I
but
love one of the
honestly
movies
feel like
on
this
that
is exactly
question,
the way
but
you want your
I
game
won't
to
let you know
start
which one it is.
on either side.
5, 4. Knowledge in a variety of categories. 3, 2, 1. Pens down, and let's go to the Switchblade.
Is it Robert Zemeckis?
It is not Robert Zemeckis, so 6 points total for her in round 1. For a perfect round, Boston Badass.
Let's go, baby. It's Joe Dante.
That is correct. It is a perfect round, 8-6. And as we've seen so many times, Andrew, this additional point for a question just asked to Paige Frabetti could bear fruit later on in the match. Here we go. Paige, you do not have to write down your attempted answer. This question is just to you. So within 15 seconds, you may simply wager your guess out loud.
And a big time congratulations to the Badass for your very first perfect round. Let's see if you can continue on here with your bonus question. Which actor portrayed Batman in 1966's Batman the Movie?
Adam West.
I'm just gonna go with the swing and say Adam West.
A swing and a hit, a perfect round plus
Sometimes
1
you just
for
can't get rid of a
Boston
bomb.
Badass. Ellis, only 2
Or a
games in.
switchblade
She got
in this case.
9 points at the end of round 1.
69!
9-6 is our score. Still a hotly contested matchup here as we careen into round number 2. The wheel round, the wheel of fate, doom, and justice. It is a virtual wheel. We don't have the kind of money
Be
to
right
send
back.
wheels just yet. So you'll spin it with your mind. Once you settle on a category, 4 questions emerge from that particular realm. Each question's worth 2 points. There's no penalty for missing a question. However, there is stealing in round number 2. So if you're not sure of the answer, again, you can ask us multiple choice. At that point, the value of the question does go down to 1. You each have 2 usages of your JTE rules remaining. And so it is the Boston Badass with a 3-point lead and right now a decision to make. Paige, would you like to spin that wheel first or defer to your opponent?
No, I'm gonna be generous today, and I'm gonna let Rachel go first.
Rachel, we're down. We're not out.
No, never.
There is a thing that happens where if the first round doesn't go the way we envisioned it can get in the way. It's done. It's over. We keep trucking. You look great out there. You're loose. You're fun. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
It's
Yeah,
been
it's
a
fine.
long time since we saw you on these in these. Well, we've never seen you in this scenario, but hi, your mom's house. How
Hi,
you
your
feeling?
mom's house.
Doing good?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm.
Great.
Yeah, let's
spin it. Let's have fun. It's still our game.
All right, round and round it
It's
goes.
not going to get old for me, Mark.
I enjoy your humor always. And I enjoy this man's humor as well. Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
60 seconds to decide if you want to keep that category.
She loves Adam Sandler,
I'm
doesn't
okay
she?
with Adam.
Or is
I
it
gotta
Kevin
tell you,
Smith
we
better?
need-
Them.
What I will say is being down by 3 going into round 2 means we need to have a big round 2, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's potential for a big round 2 here with you.
Oh yeah.
I support whatever you want to do, but I just think we got to look at the situation we're in and what's on the board. I feel like this is a great option. I defer to you though, of course.
I feel this is a good option, but I also feel like there are more out there that I can do even better in.
Okay.
So let's spin the wheel.
Great.
All right, spinning again. And opponent's choice lurking out there, Andrew. We've seen it rear its ugly head on respins
Don't
before.
jinx it!
Yeah, we'll see if the greediness pays off here for the Switchblade, which with a name like that, you'd think it would.
Lucasfilm!
Lucasfilm is the spin. So she almost hit Sandler again, but she lands on Lucasfilm. All right, so we are set and ready to go. Rachel, your Lucasfilm questions, 4 in total, to be proctored by my partner in crime, Andrew Guy. The category is Lucasfilm. 2 points unless you need the aid of multiple choice.
That's right, and then we will try and provide 4 options for you. One of them is supposed to be correct. Here we go. In the category of Lucasfilm, your first of 4. Switchblade. George Lucas directed what 1973 coming-of-age film that was first produced by Lucasfilm?
American Graffiti?
American Graffiti.
Give her 2 points. That is correct.
Not his directorial
First
debut, but
question
it
down
was
here in the category
one
of
of his first new
Lucasfilm.
movies.
2 points in for the Switchblade. Your second question. Who plays the title character in the 1988 fantasy epic Willow?
Warwick Davis?
Warwick Davis.
Always a good day when you get a Willow question. Give her 2 more points. Brings
And a
her
Warwick
up
Davis
to
question.
10. 10 to 9 here. The Switchblade has taken the lead back from the Boston Badass here early in round number 2. Your third question, Switchblade, in the category of Lucasfilm. What 1988 animated film follows the journey of a young dinosaur named Littlefoot and his friends to find their herds?
The Land
The Land
Before
Before
Time.
Time.
That's a Lucasfilm
It's a
movie!
heartbreaker, but Rachel having a great round here
That's a
in
Lucasfilm
Lucasfilm. Give her
movie!
2 more points.
I didn't know
6
that!
on the round, 2 more on the table. Your final question, Switchblade, in the category of Lucasfilm. Who was a scriptwriter on all of these films? Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Empire Strikes Back, and Solo, a Star Wars story.
Lawrence Kasdan? It was one of the Kasdans, but it was definitely the father.
5,
Which Kasdan was it, though?
3, 2.
Lawrence Kasdan.
Was it Lawrence Kasdan, the father?
What a round
Woo!
for the Switchblade. A perfect round 2. She doesn't check to multiple. She gets it in the last second. It is 14 to 9, Ellis, and what a great match we have on our hands.
Well, hello! Perfect first round.
Thank you.
Boy, you have sure earned that nickname today, haven't you?
You know, I try.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, I love how much you're trying. It is showing. Man, oh man, all your efforts are paying off, so I don't want to stand in your way. I don't want to slow your roll. Let's get to that wheel.
And here it is. So close between Lucasfilm and
Le
Adam
wheel.
Sandler. What does the wheel have in store for the Boston Badass?
Yeah, why can't I get Lucasfilm? Those questions were slapped like 1 point. I was like, what?
Musical is your category. Do you want to keep it or do you want to spin away?
I mean, I do like a little song and dance, but there's a lot of. I mean, honestly, this wheel is like perfect for me. But I'm just gonna spin again to see what I get.
I really hope it's Lucasfilm because we know all those answers.
Yes, we do. So we
So
should.
let's just land on Lucasfilm and we'll be all set.
To be fair, I did ask the question and we revealed the answers, so it's kind of a
That's why we know them all.
it's not necessarily fair.
Almost Lucasfilm!
Almost
Lucasfilm!
That's I mean, I wanted Lucas, but
I guess
I'll
we'll
go-
take
yeah,
Tarantino. Some of us call him Quentin, but anyway.
you know
Yeah,
him
well.
personally, right? Just give him a call for me. He could be my landline, right?
Yeah.
You get one of those.
So Quentin
It can be your phone a
Tarantino
friend.
is the category for Paige Frabetti. Her manager knows him a little bit, and we'll see if Paige knows some information about said director. Paige, 2 points per question list. You need the aid of multiple choice. You ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right, your first question in the world of Q, Tarantino. Which actor
Tarantino.
earned 2 Academy Award wins for starring in back-to-back Quentin Tarantino movies?
It is the great Christoph Waltz.
And that was a great correct answer for 2 points. And it is all of a sudden 14 to 11.
What
Freddy
was the
still
second
trailing
time?
Silvestrini by 3. The Boston Badass can cut the lead to 1 with this next question, if she gets it correct, and it is...
Oh, that one.
What is the first name of the
now.
killer stuntman, played by Kurt Russell in Death Proof?
I mean, he's a pretty cool dude. I think I know him personally. Stuntman Mike.
Stuntman Mike is correct for 2 more points. It is a 1-point lead for the Switchblade, and it could be a 1-point lead for the Boston Badass if she gets her penultimate Tarantino question correct. Here it is. Who plays the older general Sandy Smithers in The Hateful Eight?
The amazing Bruce Dern.
Bruce Dern is indeed amazing, and that is a 2-point question correct answer. And Andrew, it is now a 1-point lead for the Boston Badass.
I feel like they both got their strengths here, Mark.
And we'll see about that, trying to match Silvestrini's perfect round 2 with a perfect round 2 of her own. Paige, your final question in the world of Quentin Tarantino. In Reservoir Dogs, Tim Roth is referred to as what color nickname in the heist crew?
I mean, I think it's the color of your tie, right, Mr. Orange?
Okay.
I cannot confirm or deny what the color of my tie looks like, but I can say that is a correct answer for 2 points. And just like that, we are witnessing greatness on both ends of the spectrum, or at least with both competitors here today, Andrew. It is now 17-14. Perfect rounds galore so far.
What a phenomenal showing here in round number 2. Obviously, Silvestrini a little bit behind because of round 1, but what a way to bounce back from both of them. Both of them go completely perfect. They both go a little edgy, a little dangerous, and they respin the wheel. I love it. Let's go to that dangerous round number 3.
Danger
They're
zone.
riding the lightning into the round that will determine the match. This is round 3, and the rules are as follows. 3 questions for each competitor will emerge. Your question values are first 2 points, then 3 points, then 5 points. There's no penalty for missing a question, and there is no stealing in round 3. How do we get those questions? Well, we need some help from each competitor. You give us a series of numbers. These numbers may range within 1 to 20. Those integers will correspond to a unique category of movie, trivia, Schmoedown, mystery, so you may not pick the same numerals as your opponent. Before we bring in your managers for one final pep talk, we're going to get those numbers. Boston Badass, you have a 3-point lead, so we're going to start with you. Your 3 lucky numbers from 1 to 20 are?
I'm going to go with 369 because I'm feeling pretty fine right now, so.
369 it is, and the Switchblade.
13, 14, and 16.
I want to reach across the country and give you the biggest high five right now. Okay. I don't care what happens in round 3. I am so proud of you. The suspects are so proud of you. You are playing like an absolute champion. You have 2 JTE rules left. We have a challenge if we need it. You take your time.
We're probably going to use it.
Think about your answers. You give them that good Boston Badass flair when you answer, and you just keep doing everything you are doing, Paige. You are in the zone. This is your game from start to finish. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I mean, anything can happen in round 3, but I'm feeling pretty good right now. So,
all right.
You know, hopefully may the odds land in my favor. So
may they forever be in your favor.
How did that perfect second round feel?
I felt really good.
I gotta tell you, something that I feel like is so unfair in regards to you is that your record does not account for all of the various people on our faction that you have brought to victory. That their wins are your wins, Rachel, and I wish that was reflected in your record because you are the heartbeat of this faction, and I want you to get a win for yourself today. So let's stay digging in. We know the Den has been on the wrong side of it, but it can come down to a 5-pointer. We've been on the wrong side of it a lot this year. So a 3-point lead, this can be solved in a 5-pointer. Okay, so stay loose. You have 2 JTEs. It's time to get your own win.
Rousing words from both managers, and Andrew, I gotta say, you can really feel the competitive fire coming through the screen right now.
I love what the managers have done in this match. I really do. They're doing exactly what we want them to do while their competitors stay dialed in. And that's exactly what we need here in round number 3. I know that the Switchblade is up first here, Rachel. You are down by just a hair. You got a 3-point deficit, as we just mentioned. The first number that you chose was number 13. Number 13 coincides with the category of fantasy sci-fi. fantasy sci-fi
Skiffy.
for your 2-pointer, Switchblade.
That's skiffy.
And to bring it within 1. Which actor co-stars with Jennifer Lawrence as Jim Preston in the film Passengers?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Unfortunately for me, I
2
saw
seconds
that
for
movie.
2 points there. The Switchblade is on the board in round number 3. 16
theaters, no
to
less.
17. Rachel, you have to answer your 3-pointer to send it back over to the Boston Badass. You selected number 14, Rachel, and that coincides with the category of horror films. For your 3-pointer and the lead for the first time in this match after her perfect round, of course. Denzel Washington plays Philadelphia police detective John Hobbs in what 1998 horror thriller about a serial killer whose murderous rampage continues after his execution?
Fallen.
Wow. No nerves here in round 3, Ellis. Give her 3 more points, and she's back in the lead.
That is correct on both accounts. Fallen and your statement, Andrew. Silvestrini, the Switchblade, not blinking, and it doesn't look like she will anytime soon. And so now we do pivot to the Boston Badass, who gave us her 3 numbers. The first one, of course, is number 3. And so, Paige, that is going to correspond to the world of a guy who I just feel like everybody enjoys, and that is Tom Hanks.
Yeah!
And your question that could help pull you to a tie with the Switchblade. Tom Hanks starred in, directed, and wrote what 1996 film that also has Tom Everett Scott, Liv Tyler, and Steve Zahn?
I believe it is That Thing You Do.
You doing that thing you do, answering questions correct. And it's now tied, and so we are going to stick with Paige Frabetti for her 3-pointer, Andrew. She could possibly take a 3-point lead
Frabetti
and then
or
pivot back to
Frabetti?
Switchblade for a 5-pointer
Everyone
she's got to have.
mispronounces her
We're
name
not
all
there
the
yet.
time. I don't
Where
even
we
know what her
are
name is.
category 6, which is what Frabetti chose, and that corresponds to the world of, a little broader than Tom Hanks, but not by much, comedies. And your question. For 3 points and a 3-point lead. You'll find a kangaroo named Jackie Legs in what 2000s comedy?
I believe, and by the way, Australia is one of my favorite places. Believe this is Kangaroo Jack.
I met a couple kangaroos a couple months ago, and they were delightful. That is correct for 3 points and the lead. And so now we pivot back to Silvestrini. It's a 5-pointer, Andrew, that the Switchblade's got to have.
22 to 19. Rachel, for your 5-point question, you chose number 16. And once again, a beloved actor in our hearts, Denzel Washington, for your 5-point question. Your 5-pointer to take the lead and send it back to the Boston Badass to answer hers. Which Academy Award-winning actress plays Ava Mae Fisher, Antoine's mother, in Antoine Fisher?
Even Paige looks stumped by this question.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Okay, she has one left.
The category of Denzel Washington for 5 points. Which Academy Award-winning actress plays Ava Mae Fisher, Antoine's mother, in Antoine Fisher?
Octavia Spencer.
Winner!
Let's go!
Boston Badass!
Looking for Viola Davis. Viola Davis is the Oscar winner that we were looking for.
The other
Viola
Oscar
Davis, it was a great game, a great match between both competitors, numerous perfect rounds, tons of correct answers, and it is the usual suspects. Paige Frabetti getting her very first win in the movie trivia Schmoedown. It's got to be nice to hear those words, and we'll hear more from you and Sam Levine in just 1 second. You know, it was going to be a heartbreaker either way because we love these ladies in real life so much, and they're just such bright lights in the Schmoedown community. You know they have the ability to get multiple W's, but only one could pull out here today. It was the Boston Badass. Why?
It was that perfect round one. It set her up for the rest of the game. She was able to defer in round two. She knew what she needed to do. She was able to play the game the way that she wanted and have Rachel play the game that Paige set up for her. And I know that might sound like very meta or very macro for the MTS, but that's really what it's all about. If you can get in the head of your opponent with the scoreboard, that's really the best way to do it. Now, the one thing that we can hang on to as fans of the Den or of the Switchblade is that Rachel has picked up 3 wins in the team's division. It's not like she's gone winless in the MTS, but that singles win does seem to be ever evasive. And when you talk about the Boston Badass, she had swagger, she had knowledge, she had confidence, and she looked like a veteran out there, Mark. And I think that last bit that I said, looking like a vet, is the most important thing to look at when you're looking at her as a manager or as someone who might run into her down the line.
Yeah, you and I fond of using the baseball expression 5-tool player, and Paige, being from the city she is, no stranger to baseball glory. To talk about her own personal glory here today, alongside her manager, Sam Levine of The Usual Suspects, she's going to be interviewed by the great Jen Sturger. Jen, you know something about baseball, too.
Just a thing or two, Mark Ellis. Just a thing or two, you know?
Yeah. She's only married to a baseball player.
I am
from
such
my
a proud
country.
papa right now.
Rather, he plays for my country.
You have no idea. We've done so many study sessions, and I got to tell you, seriously, this woman has put in the work, and it showed today. This was everything I knew she had in her to be in a Schmoedown match. I don't want to say she lived up to my expectations. She exceeded my wildest expectations. And I know she has a proud faction behind her who are going to be so excited to hear the news about what happened here today.
Paige, I gotta ask you, how does it feel to get that first W under your belt?
I mean, there should be no crying in Schmoedown, but I just want to shed a tear. I am just so, like,
that's great because
right
Sam always wanted to be Tom Hanks. So
no, I mean, this is just. It's always been a dream of mine to be in the Schmoedown. So the fact that it's got my first W for my team, my faction, and for Sam and for myself, it's just unbelievable.
That's more than a W. That is a W with a bullet. That is a perfect game, Paige. Perfect game, start to finish.
What do you think you learned from your last match, obviously, which came down to the wire? And honestly, it was a brilliant first showing you had. So what did you take away from that match that you applied to this match?
Honestly, just stay calm and collective and just be confident with your answers no matter what. And I said it in the beginning, it really is, no matter who you're playing against, it's really you against the questions. You guys can give me whoever you want. No matter what, it's just me against the questions, and that's how I'm playing it, so...
They grow up so fast, don't they, Jim?
I know, right? I'm like, oh, shedding tears over here. Well, congratulations on a fantastic win today, and I can't wait to see who you play next because I'm pretty sure you're going to give them hell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, since you guys are just giving me the Den the whole time, give me, like, Thomas Harper. I want to see that dude in a singles match or something. Like,
is she calling her own shot, Sam? What's happening right now?
She's her own person. She can do anything she wants. I won't stand in her way. I'm just here to support.
She wants Harper and
nope, you guys can give me whoever you want, though. I don't care. I'm just happy to be here and given the opportunity to keep playing. So thank you guys.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on getting your first victory here at the Movie Trivia Schmoedown.
You know, it's win or lose, and you and I never have a rooting interest once the matches actually start, but this is why we love the game. This is why we enjoy the sport of it, Andrew, is when you see that first victory break through, the emotions that follow, you can't write this stuff. It's just pure human joy.
That interview was the greatest display of what a rookie is, and I'll tell you exactly why. You saw the emotions, the heartfelt win, and you also saw her kick out of her coverage by calling out Thomas Harper, a man who hasn't missed a question in maybe the last 2 matches he's played. So, you know what? I applaud her for it. I think the confidence is great, but that's what rookies do. You get great wins, you get emotional, and you call out someone who, honestly, after what we saw today from Paige, and I don't know if Thomas ever has any interest in singles, she is clearly a force to be reckoned with The other side of that coin, though, is her opponent in the Switchblade today. Another great match. Look, we all have, 6 in round 1 is not a bad thing to do. She has a perfect round 2. Round 3, the great equalizer out there. Very, very tough. A hard 5-pointer and a hard-fought match for the Switchblade.
Coming up a little short here today, but nonetheless displaying a wealth of movie trivia knowledge across the board. And I liked how you noted that both competitors really going for it all there in round number 2, spinning again, looking for that category that they wanted, and boy, did they ever. So it's a tough L here today. It's not the moral victory that Silvestrini was hoping for, but a lot to take out of this match on the positive side. So we'll hear from her, Kate Mulligan, and once again, Jen Sturger. What sport do you want to open with this time?
I was thinking hockey, Mark Ellis. I really was. Just because I was watching the playoffs last night, and tough loss for the Knights. But anyways,
If I could put somebody... Hearing voices. I'm sorry, those aren't mine.
That was my son yelling. That was my son yelling to me that he has poo-poos.
I know. Oh my god. How do we recover from this? Anyways,
you know what? I'm gonna actually take it from there, Jen, because I think what we've actually witnessed here is something that I think everybody there's something that nobody's actually talked about, and I think I'm the one
that is that everyone poo-poos, and honestly, and also loses a match or two or several at the movie trivia Schmoedown. But you know what, Rachel? I think I have to say the exact same thing that Kate said, and that is that your value as a Schmoedown player is not just represented by your record. It is about what your attributions you bring to your team and what you contribute to your faction. And I think that those are things that are just simply invaluable. And the fact that you don't have a win just doesn't compute with how good of a player you actually are, because I think when you look at how some of your losses went down and who they were against throughout your career, you haven't been playing slouches, let's be clear.
No, I haven't. And let's be honest, I haven't won in singles. I've won in teams many times. So I think, I hope I get to play teams this season, because I think that I can dominate in teams. But I didn't do terribly in this round or in this match. My round 1, I got 6 points, which no slouch. It's fine. Sometimes you forget a few answers. But then round 5, my 5-pointer, it was a toss-up. It was a 50-50 choice between the two women, because if you haven't seen the movie in a while, it's kind of hard to pull that up. So, I'm proud of what I did. This was a great match. Paige is a great player. I'm proud. I'm happy for her. But yeah, I want another match. If I can, that'd be great.
Absolutely, especially when you look at your performance, like you said, in round 2, where it's like you were just lights out. And I feel like that's something that you've been pretty consistent. Round 2 is usually pretty good to you. It's just whether or not you'll stumble out of the gate, or if you, like I said, have trouble pulling that 5, I think is honestly what tends to bite you in the butt. And so it's like, I think I asked you and Kate, how do we get past that hurdle?
You just have to keep studying. That's all it is. You have to keep studying. There's no right answer to it. There's no way, there's no correct answer other than hit the books, go back to study sessions with the Den, which I'm going to do immediately after getting off this call.
I don't doubt that at all.
You just have to keep going. You take a second, hang your head for a little bit if you need to, but I'm not going to, because I'm proud of what I did here. So keep studying.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just want to jump in here. I'm really proud. I think I'm probably taking this harder than Rachel's, only because I really wanted Rachel to have this, because
Same.
And this is the truth is that this is what I was starting to say, is that nobody wants to talk about it, but I'm the only manager that actually has kids. That's not me flexing. It's a negative to my players. So I've got Rachel Silvestrini behind the scenes. If you asked every single member of the Den, raise your hand, doesn't matter what league they're in, if Rachel Silvestrini has ever showed up to quiz you, to practice with you, every single member of the Den would have their hand raised. I'm talking Thomas Harper for Star Wars matches. Rachel shows up. And that's it's just that thing. It's like always the bridesmaid, never the bride is what it feels like here, because I feel like this is somebody who really in a lot of ways is in a management position. I feel bad for members of my faction because like there are other factions that definitely have more hands-on managers than I am. But Rachel has stepped in and is like such a leader of this team that I just really feel like, oh, I just wanted her to have it. I just wanted it for her. But you're looking at exactly who she is. She's going to take it in stride. She did awesome. And I have to say, looking at Paige, like you look at Preston, you look at Roka, you look at Liz Shannon Miller, all who that Rachel's had losses to. Paige played a perfect game today. We're not done hearing about Paige. Paige is going to be another great in the books. You know what I mean? So to me, I feel like this was. I really wanted it for her. I just felt like there's nothing I can give to Rachel that matches what she gives to us as a faction, and I just wanted her to get a W for that, like just so she could feel like just have that little bounce in her step today. But I will keep hoping and just keep appreciating her, and I hope everybody sends their love Rachel's way because she is invaluable to this league, to this entire operation here.
I absolutely agree. And like you said, Kate, you know, you can be always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But I'll say I have more bridesmaid dresses than Rachel has losses, and I finally found my husband. So it's only a matter of time
Just a
before
matter
you
of
get
time,
that
that's right.
W. So on that note, I'm gonna let you guys go because I feel like Kate might have something to clean up.
Somebody has poo-poos.
Okay.
Kids
Been
crapping
there.
themselves. Andrew guys choking in the pre-show intro. I mean, it's just, we really have everything here in the movie Trivia Schmoedown. But on a serious note, Andrew, you hear how crucial Rachel Silvestrini has been to the Den. And while both competitors today are tremendous parts of our Schmoedown community, I will extend what the Den has to say about Silvestrini to include that's how she treats this entire community. Everybody in this league and the family that it has become is in large part due to people like Rachel Silvestrini. She's just one of the brightest lights in a room you could ever hope for, and I love to see her compete in more teams, singles, whatever she feels like. But more importantly, I just love having her around because she's just that special of a human being. As for the match today, didn't break her way. It did go the way of the Boston Badass. The Boston Badass, the Switchblade, two nicknames I never want to meet in a dark alley. Knowing who the people behind them are, I'd welcome them into my home.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in both of those post-game interviews, you saw maybe the softer side of the Badass and the Switchblade, and it's well-earned. You heard from both their managers how hard they work behind the scenes, how much work they go that's unrecognized. They're unsung heroes, and, you know, today, the Badass had her day in the sun, and, you know, the Switchblades will be coming soon. You know, to add to what you're saying about how great she is, because of that, she's going to continue to get matches. That's just what happens. When you have a good relationship with your faction, a good relationship with your manager and the rest of the league, that's how you can get more games played if you're not picking up those W's. So Silvestrini has figured out a way to stay in the league in our hearts and, of course, here in the competition. As for Frabetti, as for the Boston Badass, we just have to see what happens next. She was a stone-cold killer today, and you could really see how proud Sam Levine was.
Yeah, those perfect round twos help as well. And so it was a sterling match here today. Great trivia minds on display once again for Rachel, the Switchblade Silvestrini, and the Boston Badass Paige Frabetti. The usual suspects take the W over the Den today, and we will say goodnight, but not before we thank everybody behind the scenes here that keeps this family running. That is Skybound and the hardworking tech engineers that make us look nice and pretty. The head writer and his crew, PJ Campbell, that make me and Guy look smart, or at least semi-competent. Jen Sturger, who is always making us elevate our game. Christian Harloff, the granddaddy of this whole thing. Andrew, Guy, it was a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always great to see you, Ellis, and I cannot wait for our next outing. I'll see you tomorrow at 5:30 at the park.
Sure you will. That's all for us here today at the Movie Trivia Schmoedown.
Well, like I always say, it sucks when the team you're rooting for is the team that loses, and both both players in this game really played their hearts out. Both really deserved to win, but at the end of the day, it was the perfect game that won the match. And another thing I always say is there's nothing you can do when your opponent plays a perfect game. That's just the way it is. But, yeah, I, on the other hand, did not only answer 6 points, I actually answered 9 questions correctly. I got 4 in round 1, and then I aced the Lucasfilm category, and I got 1 question in round 3. So, yeah, clearly I'm in nowhere near the level that these two ladies are playing. But, yeah, I mean, it really sucks for Rachel to me. I mean, you can tell she was crying at the end of that interview because, yeah, she missed 2 questions in round 1. Just 2. Like, I know a lot of people who would kill to have only 2 misses in round 1. I might be one of them, as a matter of fact. But yeah, 2 misses in round 1 can sometimes really lose you the game. She played a perfect game in round 2. Didn't even go to multiple choice once. And then it was just that 5-pointer where, knowing a lot of players who have Octavia Spencer or Viola Davis as the answer, it's always, I can just say for me personally, it's sometimes a 50-50 shot with those 2 ladies. It's sort of confusing sometimes, but yeah, she went with the wrong answer, and that was the point she lost the game on. If she gets that answer correct, who knows? Maybe the swing goes the other way, and Paige misses her 5-pointer. Who knows? But yeah, that was the way the cookie crumbled in this match, and sadly, that was the one that lost Rachel the match. So that's really all I can say about this match. Now I gotta get ready for work. I still have a little bit of pizza left, but yeah, Schmoedown. Am I right? Anyways, I'll see you all later with another Schmoedown reaction video. So see you then. Goodbye for now. Hello again, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed this video, cause I really enjoyed making it. So if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next time.